Today's topic of discussion is why you became a Republican. Why did you vote for Uncle Trump? Let me know in the comments, all right? And I got a couple of videos of people talking about why they switched sides, because these are former Democrats in both of these clips here that I'm about to show you. And obviously, I'll get into my reasoning at the end. So with that being said, let's dive in.
As a black man who's been Democrat his entire life, I'm about to give you the top reasons why I became a Republican. Reason number one, Republicans do not with anything that is woke. Woke started out as something that was supposed to be generally good. It was made to highlight the racial injustice that was happening in this country at the time and just to shine a general light on it. Not to cause riots, not to start looting and doing all this crazy and bugging the out. No, just to shine a light on it so that we can, make it a little bit better. But somebody on the Democratic side, and I gotta be honest, they definitely weren't black, got a hold of it and said, woke, oh my God, what is this? What is woke? And you know what they did? Took woke and they turned it into some of the most ridiculous, nonsensical bullshit I've ever seen or heard in my life. Reason number two, the Republicans have become the party of logic, reason, common sense, and rational thought. And honestly, I don't know when the hell that happened, because growing up, I always knew them as the party of racists and bigots, and that was it. That was all I was told by Democrats. They were just racists and bigots. That's it. Complete brainwashing by the Democratic Party my whole life, but now I see things for how they really are. Icing on the cake, Donald Trump almost gets assassinated, and he stands up. In the middle, while everyone else is freaking the out, he was like, no, where's my shoes? I need my shoes. I knew then, I was like, okay, yeah, that's my president. I knew then. I was like, yep. A lot more things I can get into, but to keep it short and sweet, that's why I became a Republican. I started seeing all the flaws of the Democratic Party, and I saw that they were doing nothing to do anything about it to change, and they still haven't done anything.
Still haven't done anything. That's facts. That's facts. Wait a minute. Where's my shoes? Yeah, that was honestly an incredible moment. Obviously, I'm happy that Uncle Trump survived that moment, but to see someone while under fire, literally stand up and not panic, but say fight, man, historic moment, absolutely historic moment, will go down in history as one of the most memorable moments of all time in American history. Pretty crazy. And honestly, I think there's a lot more to the backstory of it all, but we can save that discussion for another day, obviously. But once again, a former Democrat becoming Republican, and recently, right, as you just heard, recently switching over. So this change is still happening, guys. This shift over is still happening. But let's hop into the second video I have for you guys. Check it out.
A recovering Democrat here. Left the Democrat Party when I realized I was very involved with it, and went to a meeting, even went to the Democrat convention in Atlanta. and I guess that's kind of where it was. When they asked them about a subject and why they haven't legalized it yet, you can probably guess what it is. And the head of the DNC told me it's an issue we want. As long as we have the issue, we can win elections on it. They didn't want to make it legal. They wanted the issue. They could have made it legal a long time ago when they had control. But nope, they wanted the issue to run on. And that's when I finally realized that the Democrats were nothing but a party about power and not about the people. For example, the ladies that wore pink last night supporting women and then didn't applaud for keeping men out of women's sports, and didn't applaud for the lady who had kids had been her child had been murdered by the illegal aliens, and then not applaud for the frigging kid who had survived brain cancer for no reason at all. There was nothing in that political, and there was no benefit from it, no nothing. And I mean, who can't applaud that? I mean, who the hell raised you that you can't get applauded by that? Yeah, it's a sad world, man. I'll tell you. Yeah, I left the Democrat Party, and I realized how wrong I was with the Democrat Party. Yeah, that's it. So keep Democrats. I can't understand why anybody would stay with them at this point. They would have humiliated me last night. I would be ashamed to say I was a Democrat this morning if I was one. But yep, good luck to you.
Well, to those two brothers there, shout out to Robert 12. I want to put it back on the screen so you guys can screenshot that and go give him a follow. All right, Robert 12, and who was the second or the first guy? Excuse me. Does it say his name? Oh yes. Hold on, let me move. There we go. Now you can get a good shot of it. X3 Techno. Shout out to the brother right there. Okay, you can see it right there on your screen. Screenshot it if you need to. All right, go show those brothers some love, man. And to those two guys, man, welcome to the good side, right? Welcome to the side of common sense, the side of no nonsense on the woke crap, the side that actually attempts to get things done. Now, I know we aren't perfect, and that is in major part because we have some rhinos still in the party that we are going to primary. What's the guy out of Texas? I think his name is Ken Paxton. He's going to run against John Cornyn in Texas. John Cornyn is a rhino. Right now, his poll numbers look amazing against John Cornyn. He's projected to actually beat John Cornyn, so that's good, right? We got some people like Susan Collins that are up for re-election in 26 in the midterms. That it's going to be tough to get her out of there in a state like Maine, but it is possible. Mitch McConnell's retiring. He's getting up out of there. Hopefully, we get a replacement like Scott Jennings or somebody who's genuinely conservative, who's not a rhino, someone who is Republican in name only. But for the most part, we actually get stuff done, and that's also one of the things that I've talked about in past videos because I've noticed that with the Democrat Party, they do a lot of lip bumping. Right? And when they're in power, when they're in control, they hold off on a lot of things, right? They hold off on a lot of things until Republicans win back the House or the Senate or have the presidency, and then that's when they bring back, let's try to pass reparations, or let's try to legalize marijuana across America, or let's do this or do that. That's when they start bringing up those bills because they know Republicans are going to vote no on it, and then they're like, see, Republicans hate you. But they failed to mention that when they had the power to pass this stuff at will, they didn't want to do it. So I'm happy the brother, what's his name again? The brother Robert noticed that, because that's something that I noticed a while back. And like I said, I've mentioned it in videos in the past. So some of y'all will probably remember some of those videos that I mentioned that in. Democrats, all they care about is power. Simple and plain. And we all saw that with this whole Joe Biden saga, where Joe Biden was obviously mentally impaired. And we learn now that he was clearly physically impaired as well, which we saw that as well, tripping over sandbags and having to walk up the short stairs to the plane, right? Stuff like that. So the weird gait that he had when he would walk. But not only that, the guy had cancer the entire time, which is a horrible diagnosis. And like I said before, I wish him a speedy recovery. We all know someone who has been affected or possibly, unfortunately lost their lives due to cancer. So that's a serious diagnosis, and I wish him a speedy and a healthy recovery, and he can, just ride off into the sunset and live a beautiful life for whatever time he has left on this earth. But that's all they care about is power. They hid all, or attempted to hide all of that from us, called us MAGA extremists, and said that we were pushing out cheap fakes, right? You guys remember Karine Jean-Pierre said that, cheap fakes. Joe Scarborough hopped on national television and said, F you if you don't believe this is the best version of Joe Biden. Just completely lying about it. Jake Tapper going after Laura Trump for calling it out. Just trying to cover it up so terribly. You clearly saw that all these people care about is power. That's it. That's it. Disgusting stuff, man. Disgusting stuff. And like Robert said, I don't see how anybody at this point in time could possibly fix their lips to say, I support the Democrat Party. I just don't see how. I don't see how. Especially when you have a coalition on the right that is a combination of, Republicans and Democrats coming together. RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard to be specific, two prominent figures. Uncle Trump was a registered Democrat, right? There's a lot of Democrats that have come over to the Republican Party, so I don't see how you could support the Democrat Party anymore. I just don't see it. When over here we've got Democrats who've joined this movement, right? Which I think says a lot. Says a whole lot. But anyway, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this, and what caused you to become a Republican or vote Republican? Let me know. Thanks for tuning in as always. Peace and love. I'm out.